Okay, so for our dry ingredients, we have 1 cup of oat flour. If you're not familiarized with oat flour, you basically just blend oats until it looks like flour. And I'm using Quest protein. You can use any protein you like. I recommend whey. Quest protein is basically thicker. No, I'm not sponsored by Quest. It would be great and awesome, but I'm not. I just really like their products. We're using 1 scoop of protein. So now we're adding our cinnamon. This is 1 teaspoon, half a teaspoon of nutmeg, and half a teaspoon of baking powder. So we're gonna add that to our dry ingredients. And lastly, we're gonna add just a pinch of sea salt. As far as sweeteners, you can either add some stevia, the packet, or we also have liquid stevia. I like this brand, Sweet Leaf. You can find this at Sprouts, Whole Foods. It's just liquid stevia, and this is vanilla. Today I'm just gonna use dry, just 2 packets, just to add a little bit more sweetness. You're already getting sweetness from the protein powder, so you don't really need much. Now we're gonna mix really good. For our white ingredients, we're using 1/4 of a cup of Greek yogurt. I'm using Chobani. Just make sure it's non-fat, plain. I just recommend plain Greek yogurt. Next, it's going to be 2 egg whites. If you're not good at cracking eggs, I recommend you crack them separately first, but I have a lot of experience. Now, 1 cup of grated carrots into their bowl. So now we're gonna add almond milk. This is vanilla unsweetened. We're gonna start off with 1/4 of a cup. This all depends on what protein you're using. Like I mentioned before, Quest protein is very thick. You might need more according to your protein, or less. Just look at consistency. We're gonna mix our wet ingredients. If you don't like Greek yogurt, or you don't want to add Greek yogurt, you can substitute for mashed banana or pumpkin puree. Basically, you're using the yogurt instead of oil, and it's gonna keep your cupcakes or muffins really moist. So now we're adding our wet ingredients with our dry. I can already tell I'm gonna need more milk, so I'm gonna slowly add more. I'm gonna add 1/4 more, so that makes half a cup. Just make sure you mix very well. You want a not too runny consistency. Like I mentioned, keep an eye, mix very well, and determine if you need more or less. By now you should be having your oven preheating at 350 degrees. So I believe this is a really good consistency. Let me just mix very well. You can try a little bit, it won't hurt. Alright, so now we're gonna assemble. So I'm gonna be using coconut oil spray. You can use olive oil, just any non-stick spray. These are silicone, they won't stick, but I still want to be extra careful. And you don't have to make this as muffins. You can make a loaf, a whole cake. It's up to you, but for me this is convenient because I can just take them to work on the go for breakfast and I don't have time for dessert. Today we're just making cupcakes. So So optional, you can add toppings. I'm gonna add some dark chocolate. This is sweetened with stevia. Walnuts would be good. Raisins, all on you, but I'm a chocolate girl. These are from Sprouts. They're sweetened with stevia, dark chocolate, vegan, non-GMO. Always choose for the best. $3.50. Some Greek yogurt, then some vanilla stevia drops, and if you don't have this, just use regular stevia. It's a little bit of protein powder. This is going to make it a little bit thicker. If it's too thick, you can add just a dash of almond milk, just to make it a little thinner and runnier. We're gonna put it in the fridge. Meanwhile, our cupcakes bake, or muffins, whatever you want to call them. So here's our frosting. So now we're gonna frost them. Perfect fall food. If you're there trying to give up, don't. Hard times come, but you just have to overcome them, and that's how you succeed. And one last tip: finish where you start.